people that have doubled, tripled, quadrupled their sub count off this. So if Twitch, if you're watching, thank you. That was beautiful.
And please use some of that Twitch Prime love for Unrivaled tournaments. These guys are on the come up. The production values of this stream are consistently ridiculous. It's not just because we're here at the big house. Sage himself is an absolute production genius. He's always working very hard to level up his meta in terms of the stream, and he actually plays the game pretty well too. I haven't played him, but I definitely want to get some games with him.
Yep.
Either way, we've got Abadango and Mr. R, 2 of the top 10 in the world. Absolutely legendary players. If you haven't been following Smash 4 to date and you don't know who these guys are, they are 2 of the most lauded champions in this game. Mr. R with 2nd place EVO 2015 and a whole bunch of other wins in Europe and high placings in the United States under his belt. Abadango, same deal, except he comes from Japan instead of the Netherlands.
Yep, and Mr. R, kind of his story is that he's known for being one of the most consistent players in Smash 4. He has very few, kind of unexpected losses under his belt, but also he has very few, major wins. He's Mr. 2nd place. That's kind of been his thing.
Mr. R, the bridesmaid.
Yep. He's never taken that 1st place, but here against Abadango, he looks like he's on track to continue on this winner's bracket run.
But of course, we've seen the story of Sheik. It's just like, you could completely shut them out at the start of the match, but are you able to finish the stocks? And Abadango, his character is a lot better equipped. Mewtwo has so much raw power, can actually kill from a throw straight up, no gimmicks. Oh no! See, there you go. He did 100 damage almost uncontested. Then he got 2-framed at the ledge with the up B ledge snap by Mewtwo's down air, and just, it was all for naught.
Yeah, these are the perils of Sheik, man. You mess up one time and you've got so much catch-up to do. I mean, Mewtwo is a light character, but in the air, he's safe a lot of the time, and I feel like a lot of Sheik's kill setups rely on the opponent being in the air, either for this up air or up smash, and even still, at 117, it's not going to kill.
Yeah, I'd say that was a battlefield survival right there. That was pretty much his only shot at living, and Abadango, man, catching kind of a lucky break because he actually got the DI cross-up up air, which would have sent Abadango to an early grave, but unfortunately the boundary is just a little bit too far.
Yep. Right now he goes for the up air again. Wise by Abadango to go even higher, but falls into that up smash, the diamond cutter. Mr. R with only 43%. This is definitely feasible.
Mr. R just putting himself right under the edge of the platform, trying to scout the teleport cancel from Abadango, and it worked beautifully. Catching on to maybe some of this player's tendencies, even though he's one of the top 10 in the world, doesn't mean he can't have habits and that can't be exploited.
So what I'm going to want to see here from Mr. R is kind of slow down the pace. He's chasing Abadango all over the place, but I think Mr. R is at his best when he's kind of being a little bit more calculating. Not super aggressive like somebody like Nairo, but when he's actually controlling the stage and keeping his feet on the ground.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but he also does have his moments of brilliance when he's just rushing you down and everything is going his way. It's also a very Sheik-esque thing, It's like when the cards are in your favor, this character seems like an unstoppable force.
Very opportunistic. Yeah.
Okay, shocks him with the neutral. Oh no! So much spaghetti in a like 60-frame window right there.
Yeah. Went for the footstool disable instead. Mr. R accidentally popping that grenade in the opposite direction. You'd see Abadango with the jumping. What he'll do is kind of a short hop and then immediately air dodge. So he'll disappear. Stop Sheik from doing any kind of fair to stuff that short hop, and you see that a lot in this matchup.
Right. A lot of characters have that ability to just drift in with the short hop air dodge and strike with a quick aerial before they land. Mewtwo, definitely one of the best users of that tactic, and actually clipping the back end of his up air to take Mr. R off the top, and we saw how large the battlefield ceiling is. That is a lot of knockback in that move.
And as you see, Abadango actually just recently sponsored with Luminosity. I guess he just got the jersey. You can see the stats here. Shouts to PG stats. We've got Abadango.
This is Aussie stats, actually.
Oh, this is Aussie stats. I just saw the Panda Global up there, but that was Mr. R, yeah.
Oh, yeah, true. He is actually rocking their banners for today. And there's no Luminosity behind Abadango, but that's a little too new for us to be worried about.
Brand new. Yeah, so as you saw there, Abadango is actually up 0-1 in terms of sets against Mr. R. So Abadango with 1 set under their belt. The second time they've met, and now he's up 1-0 in games. Let's see if Mr. R can respond.
I believe before the 1.16 patch, Mr. R's record against Abadango was very good, though. So, maybe we're seeing the slightly reduced in power Sheik hurt Mr. R a little bit, and at least in their set count since May. But either way, they've only met once, so I think there's definitely still some hope for both of these guys.
Well, you got to remember, not only was Sheik brought down, but Mewtwo was brought way up. And Abadango, who usually was kind of like a Meta Knight, Rosalina, even a Pac-Man player at one point, has really made the full switch to Mewtwo. And for good reason, man. This character has blown up.
Yeah, at pound 2016, man. He was the guy who pretty much brought this character to national prominence, inspired many along the way, like Wadi, Blue. You know, they're all not that they play Mewtwo because of Abadango, but it definitely gave them some hope that their character can win a major.
Absolutely.
Oh, and he catches the air dodge. Mr. R still not able to finish the job. And are we going to see the same deal as last game, like a tragically early death from Sheik?
Let's hope not for Mr. R's sake. Abadango is kind of sharking, waiting for his opportunity, but excellent down tilt from Mr. R, getting that up air, taking off Abadango's stock. I don't want to say early, but he wasn't able to get much percent on Mr. R. He's going to try to get him in this ledge situation, tack on a bit more. He's got a ways to go, though.
And Abadango just going to sit on the stage, charge that Shadow Ball, knowing that he can shield cancel into jump cancel or whatever afterward. And that really just makes him so scary, even though it looks like he's stuck in one animation. He can go into anything very quickly out of it. Oh, if he had held that to account for the spot dodge, I feel like if I were Abadango, I would have been looking for the immediate scared spot dodge.
Exactly, yeah.
Maybe he also was hoping that he could get a true punish on the needle throw, though. That's
I think that was the idea.
Yeah.
There are a lot of instances like that in the game where kind of the M lag is deceptive.
Right.
And I think that he thought he could get a punish on that needles, but not quite. Trying to come in with that Nair, and it looks like Abadango has kind of run out of answers. Mr. R just steadily, firmly controlling the ground on Final Destination is the power of stage control.
And counter picks as well, man.
Yep.
Battlefield, not looking quite as good for him, but now that he's got the flat land on his side, it's looking a lot better. Still not even at 100%, but definitely can't get too comfortable because he is still liable to lose his stock at any moment here.
Wow, it throwing that grenade behind him to cover him, coming back on the ledge. It looked like a technical flub at first just because that move is so rarely seen, but Mr. R knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, man, she throws the grenade out on a little spaghetti noodle. It's always unintentional, but that
it's
actually was.
It's just a meatball.
Yeah,
an exploding meatball.
That's what it is. Oh, and Mr. R dominantly taking that second game. It's just really, really showing that, hey, man, if you don't cheese me out of an early stock, and if I have a stage that I like, I think we're going to be pretty okay here.
That was awesome stuff, but unfortunately, losing game one means a lot for the rest of the set. Abadango's going to have the luxury of a counter pick for this next game. And as you can see, Mr. R with all these great placings, you'll notice no first place on there. 4th place at SmashCon, 5th at CEO, 7th at Get On My Level, and 2nd at Smash Factor 5. He comes so close, he gets so far, but isn't able to clutch it out at the very end.
Also, these guys are ranked 4th and 5th on the PGR. They are 2 of literally the top 5 in the world.
Yep.
And they have to fight this early. That is the struggle of being at a tournament like Big House 6, man.
It's unreal.
Also, I just want to throw in real quick that whole grenade thing at the edge. You know how you're talking about it's almost always unintentional?
Yeah.
That one, that's like the one spot you really want to use the grenade. I mean, there's some other great uses for it, but when you're about to grab the edge, like from above, when you're just descending on it, that move has so much end lag, the side B, but it is actually cancelable by ledge grab. So as long as you're a certain distance above it when you throw it, you can grab the edge deceivingly quickly, and then your opponent has to worry about a hitbox behind them as well as you on the edge.
Yeah. And I think this is a pretty predictable counter pick from Abadango here.
Yeah,
going to Town and City. He wants something smaller, not something huge like Final Destination, where he kind of just got picked apart by Mr. R.
Right, but you know, when those platforms go away, this stage effectively is Final Destination, just maybe like 85 or 80% as big. So I'm not sure what he was thinking in terms of the actual ground layout, but definitely the boundaries of the stage are going to work immensely in Mewtwo's favor here.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're going out to the city. Mr. R going to take Abadango there through the air, not letting him touch the ground.
Abadango going for a lot of early high teleports to the edge, knowing that he can't really be messed with if he's invisible and invincible, so might as well just get to that ledge immediately, start worrying about how you're going to get back on the stage.
Yep.
Though Mewtwo does have so many cool options mid-air and off-stage, like he can use Confusion to change directions and also his momentum, but wow, Mr. R, what? The edge guards he's presenting are just so unorthodox. Throw the grenade, and then I believe it was down till he went for after that, right?
Yeah, it was just all over the place. He's covering so many options at once. Just kind of throwing out these hitboxes. There's the up throw, and again, that's the power of the counter pick, man. The lower ceiling on Town and City doing Abadango a ton of favors.
Yeah, and though it can offset Sheik's lack of kill power by having a stage with smaller boundaries, you're just going to see her die before her time way more than anything, I'd say. Abadango definitely taking full advantage of his character's stats.
That was an excellent tech on the back air, not getting stage spike there. That kind of stuff is never going to work against a player of this caliber, man. It's good to go for it because you get that free damage, but it's not going to take off the stock. Right now, Abadango at 129. Mr. R going for the errant bouncing fish, just kind of out of nowhere. And has it well scouted.
When his opponent is this high of a percent, Mr. R is really going to struggle to land these kills, especially against a light character like Mewtwo. Even though that means technically he's easier to knock out of the boundaries, he has less reliable kill setups on him because the forward tilt to pop him up is just going to send him way too far. And
exactly.
Mewtwo can go away.
And I think the only reason he was able to get that there, kind of to your point, was because that platform was there for Abadango to land on.
Right.
Gave Mr. R a safe way to shark under that platform for the up air. If that platform wasn't there, I don't think he would have been able to get that.
Now the tables have turned, man. This was looking very good for Abadango at the start. Maybe not very good, because he didn't have a huge lead or anything, but he got the first stock and was looking pretty sharp. Now it's been all about Mr. R. He's 40% up almost. But, of course, Mewtwo's damage output, in addition to his knockback, he actually just put so many numbers on the board.
So right now, Mr. R just kind of holding on to the left side of the stage, waiting for his moment. There's the falling up air, try to get into the grab. It's not going to happen. I kind of want to call that a void combo just to make Mr. R mad, because I know he hates that.
And Sheik is one of those characters where she's usually very content to stay away in the neutral at that needle range and just throw projectiles. But Mewtwo's one of those few characters that you really can't do that against. Because the second you fire those needles, he could shoot a shadow ball that does 25 right in your face, and then it's totally not worth your time.
Yep.
But either way, Mr. R has been just an iron defense right now.
Yep.
Looking impossible to crack for Abadango, who usually thrives when his opponents are coming to him.
As you saw, I mean, he almost got the kill with that forward tilt into the up air. Abadango has to be wary about that. That's definitely the kill setup that Mr. R is going to look for, I think. Just trying to get something into that up air. Definitely the safest option. I think he tried to ninja vanish out of that with the bouncing fish just come out of the explosion with that. There's the runoff back air right now. Abadango at 124. Got to make something happen quick.
But we've already seen Mewtwo definitely has the tools in his arsenal to do it. Namely, a down air spike is pretty much his only way of doing it at this percent. But maybe we could see some Nair footstool shenanigans. Oh no, not even going to get the chance. Mr. R so reliable with these down tilt to up air confirms. That's probably her best setup move for kills, but it's just kind of a small hitbox, so you don't really see it come into play all that much.
Exactly, and one of the things there that you saw Mr. R with the knowledge of the game, I think he threw out that down tilt because he knew that the higher percent you are, the less invincibility you have on that ledge, and I think Abadango was at like 140 something, so he had very little. He didn't respond fast enough, so he got hit by that down tilt into the up air. Mr. R, excellent presence of mind.
Oh, we got the tweet from Luminosity Gaming. That is definitely hype.
Yeah. Picking up Abadango mid-tournament, I guess shipping him this jersey. That's definitely surprising.
Just overnight it to him.
Yeah, I've never seen something like that.
That is super hype, man. I love seeing all these players who are all my friends of multiple years just making it big, man.
That's awesome, man.
Really warms the heart. But no counter pick in terms of character from Abadango. He's just going to run it straight back to Town City, stick with Mewtwo. I was thinking maybe there was some potential to see the Meta Knight, but that would be an ill-advised choice in my opinion. I don't know how much time these guys have spent playing together, like one-on-one in a chill kind of session or anything, but Mr. R has a Meta Knight himself, and he's disgustingly good at that matchup.
Definitely. Yeah, I could see that being a poor matchup for him.
And he's got plenty of Leo experience, usually on the losing end, though. I forgot about that. So, you know, he's good at the matchup, but not good enough to beat the best Meta Knight.
Yeah, sadly. And by the way, speaking of Leo, kid just got his visa.
Yes, he... Later.
We'll talk about that later, yeah.
Because both of these guys have had no troubles coming to play in the States.
Oh, yeah. Coming to America, man. So right now, Mr. R against Abadango, we are in Game 4. Mr. R going to try to take this set in a 3-1 fashion, but Abadango drifting all the way down with that forward air, going all the way off stage, sealing that stock pretty early. And that's where I think Abadango is at his most dangerous, man. Mr. R is in firm control when they're both just on stage, but Abadango in the air has just been dominating.
Oh, and he almost just went for that early dunk. Little kitty paw. This is just a completely different Abadango than we've been seeing in the past few games. And, I mean, personally, I think it's the same guy sitting there. I don't know what else has changed, but
who knows?
He did some serious reevaluating of his life, his playstyle, and it seems to be working out. So Mr. R now pushed to the brink of his life, but that was so sick!
Oh my
gosh! That was so
he gets
sick!
The aerial needles into the up air. You saw that the needles into bouncing fish, that's usually the confirm, but Mr. R responded immediately and said, okay, I can't get this, but I can get this, and he answers right back to Abadango. He's still at a huge deficit, but I think something like that might bring it back.
Oh, and he did the void, man. Just landed in a heap right on the right side there, and now he's paying the price. Okay, I thought Abadango was going to do some real silly stuff right there. I thought, oh, the up smash out of shield. I was looking for that in Wadi's set with Mr. E.
Yep.
It does have that kind of Marth box where from both sides of his feet, it'll pop you up into the center and take your stock. So there we go. Abadango making excellent use of that out of shield option, taking game 4, and now we're off to a last game situation here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty shocked that he would just go for that out of shield against somebody like Mr. R. He just kind of popped it, knowing that he didn't have much to lose. I mean, it was a pretty low percent, and it's not like Sheik can kill you off of, you know, a huge punish or anything at the percent that he was at. But I think he just shot it out, and you can see these twins.
We got 2 Mr. R. See, like, you know how I said there's a totally different Abadango? There's actually a totally different Mr. R.
There's Mr. R, Mr. S, Mr. T. Like, there are a bunch of these guys just walking around the venue all the way.
Yeah, we actually subbed Baron for that last game. Just got to give him, like, you know, a reward for TOing.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, man, you get 1 game on the big stage. Go get him, champ.
Well, he gave it his best shot, but unfortunately Abadango taking it in that game, so we are out to game 5 between these two. And like we saw before, shout out to the Austie, we saw that Abadango was actually up in sets 1-0 versus Mr. R. Got a little conversation, and there it is right there, 0-1 in Abadango's favor. Yep. And it looks like Mr. R has the advantage on Final Destination. We could definitely see that as we saw earlier. Meanwhile, Abadango winning on every other stage.
However, this is exclusive to patch 1.1.6.
Yes, it is.
And if you look over at the results that only we have access to right now, Mr. R had first place at BAM 8. Abadango had second place at BAM 8. Wonder what must have happened to cause that. So they're at least 1-1 of all time.
Yep.
Meaning that Mr. R is certainly capable of taking this guy out. The beast from Japan himself, Abadango. Well, the beast from Japan is Daigo Mihara, but, you know, let's just give Abadango some credit, too. The guy's really good.
Yep.
And definitely a contender for Japan's top finisher at this tourney, but he's also got to contest with his buddy Kimura for that.
Yep. So Battlefield is the pick for the next game. I think this is wise. He knows that he can't go back to Final Destination, and I'm pretty sure that Abadango took Duck Hunt off the tables. So this is the next biggest stage that he could go to. Battlefield's huge blast zones might be able to pay off for him a little bit more.
Just going for another bold up smash there. I wonder if that Marth box potentially could have stage spiked Mr. R from the edge. That would have been even crazier. But also the up smash would have covered jump, it would have covered ledge hop fair, and it would have covered stand up if he had done it at the wrong time. Yep. So still a pretty good gamble there by Abadango. He's staying in this game, keeping his head short. Oh, that works. If that works, I'll eat 10 live scorpions on stream.
That was so scary. He went for the disable right there. Mr. R wisely shielding it. But Abadango showing that even, you know, in a disadvantageous position like being off the ledge, you still have to be careful of him. Shout out to Mr. R's hand cam, man. He's pushing buttons.
Man, and this was such a strong start for Abadango, only to get whisked away from him by Mr. R. I was going to say this man is looking for that up smash, and you know it. Abadango, I guess, did...
It's one of the beauties of those platforms, man. They set you up perfectly, goes for the up throw, but it's not going to be enough, especially with no rage.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that he actually did that, because now he staled it out, and the next time he goes for it, it's going to be just a little bit weaker and might not be enough to finish the job for him.
You can see Mr. R kind of going for a hit and then kind of back rolling. He's just going for something and then immediately rolling away, trying to reset the neutral if it does not work out.
And you know what Abadango is looking for, man. He wants a run back on that up throw. Oh, I thought he might have eaten a ledge spike there and gone out early. Okay, is that going to kill cross stage? Yes, it will. Abadango all of a sudden back in this. Just needs another huge start to his stock like he got on the first one of this game.
Oh, so much percent, up to 72. Mr. R following him with that down tilt. Abadango just air dodging at every opportunity. And I mean, it works out for him because it's Mewtwo, but I think he's got to be a little bit more careful. If Mr. R smells one of those out, it's the end of the set with that Sheik up smash.
And Mr. R definitely just so aware of what Abadango is looking for this entire, like, past minute. He's just had the read on him.
Been all over him.
Uh-oh. This is a big start for Aba, though?
Yeah, look at that. 34% off one dash attack.
Yeah,
one opening.
Couldn't keep it going after the neutral air, though, and I feel like had he gotten one more hit to link out of that, it could have led into 3 or 4 more. That's just how this character works. He's so able to just go in and out of all his moves.
Mr. R with firm stage control here. He's going to back air Abadango, who's off on the side. Tries to catch him jumping, and I think he knew that he was going to jump out of that, but just slightly mistimed it.
Yeah, having the read and not the timing is so disappointing. Uh-oh, This is bad news for Mr. R, though.
He's got to make it back to the ledge. He is able to make it. He's down about 40%, and with a rage monster like Mewtwo, This is nowhere close to over. Mr. R taking these errant hits here and there.
And that's where Sheik really struggles. She can't kill off those errant hits so well. But Mewtwo can, and that's the scary part about fighting.
Nair to Bouncing Fish does not connect. That one does.
All over him. He is stuck to him like glue at this point. Uh-oh.
You saw that. Oh, gosh.
Okay, I knew he was going to get that forward air. I would have been really shaken for Abadango if he had missed that. Or I was hoping. I didn't know, but, you know, he should have gotten it.
Right now, 149%. Mr. R has to be a lot more careful than Abadango at this point, I think, just because grab is on the table. I mean, Sheik, the only way she's really going to kill you is she gets like a forward tilt into up air. Meanwhile, Mewtwo can kill off a grab, which is a huge boon in this kind of matchup.
Yeah, and Mewtwo also is just not susceptible to that forward tilt to up air combo. He goes way too far because he's so light and floaty. Oh, this is a nail biter for sure.
He wants this grab so bad. Or the forward air. Mr. R jumping into the forward air, and we've lost. What? The extreme close-up. The anguish on Mr. R's face is palpable.
Has been obscured from view. It was
too heartbreaking.
Too sad.
It was too heartbreaking.
Couldn't do it to the kids. Man, poor Mr. R falling after an amazing set. I don't believe he ever went up 2-0. Yeah, no, it was 1-0 Abadango, then 2-1 Mr. R. And then Abadango was able to close it out 2 in a row. That kind of resilience, man, that's why he's this far in this bracket. And Mr. R, too. I mean, that anybody could have taken that. That was just such an even exchange. You see why these guys are 4th and 5th in the world. Also, what's on my shirt?
That really... Oh, that really could have gone either way on that one. I mean, Abadango just kind of rallying back, and you see that at this super top level of play, you can't take anything for granted. In a 2-stock game, like, you never really saw this kind of thing happen in Brawl, where somebody rallied back this super hard, and when it did, it was kind of like a miracle moment. But it's in a game like Smash 4, I mean, when you could string 1 hit into 2 hits, into 3 hits, into 4 hits, and then get that one fair off on the right side of the stage like Abadango did there. Awesome stuff to him. He's going to take it. Mr. R still got the losers bracket to look forward to.
Yeah, and to quote SSB commentator, man, very volatile matchup, very volatile game. This, like, Smash 4 is all over the place. It's left, it's right, it's up, it's down. You never know who's going to win at any point in the match. Like, the game is not over until it's over. Very cliche saying, but doesn't make it any less true.